Namaste. Today I'm going to read Book 11, Chapter 21 on Gayatri Puras Charanam in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratu Namakaya Surya Koti Sabha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narayana said, "Now I shall speak of the Gayatri Puras Charanam. Here, by its performance, all the desires are obtained and all the sins are destroyed. On the tops of mountains, on the banks of the rivers, on the roots of bale trees, on the edges of tanks, within the enclosures of the cow stalls, in temples, on the root of asfata trees, in gardens, in the tulsi groves, in the punya kshetrams, holy places, before one's guru, or wherever the mind feels exalted and cheerful and gets strength, the Purascharanam is performed. Lead to a speedy success before commencing the Purascharanam of a mantra. The Purascharanam means repetition of the name of a deity or of a mantra attended with burnt offerings, oblations, etc. First, prayaschita, penance, is done in the shape of repeating 1,000,000 times the Gayatri with the Vyarhitis. In any Vedic karma, when making Purascharanam of the mantra of the Devatas, Narasimha, Surya, Varaha, etc., the first thing done is to repeat the Gayatri. Without the japam of Gayatri, no action is attended with success. The reason is this: every Brahman is a Sakta, a follower of Shakti. He cannot be a Vaishnava or Shaiva, for he is the worshipper of the prime force Vedamata Gayatri. Therefore, obtain first the grace of one's own Ishtadevata, Gayatri, by her japam, then worship the other deities. Thus one should purify one's Japya mantra, the mantra that is to be repeated, by first repeating 1,000,000 times the Gayatri. Then one is to commence Purascharanam. Again, before purifying the mantra, one is to purify one's Atman, self. In this purification of one's Atman, in one's Atman, 3,00,000 times. In case of inability, 1,00,000 times Gayatri is to be repeated. Without one's Atman's purification, the japam, homa, and other actions all become useless. This is especially noted in the Vedas. By tapas, example, japam, chandrayana, and vrata, asceticism. Mortify your body. By offering tarpanam, peace offerings, to the fathers of the devas, one can get self-purification. If you want to get the heavens and if you want to become great, practice tapasya. There is no other way. Tapasya is the intent calling of the mother, that call which penetrates through and through the Brahmanda. The Kshatriyas should cross difficulties and dangers by force of arms, the Vaishyas by wealth, the Sudras by serving the twice-born, and the Brahmanas should cross difficulties and dangers by tapasya, homa, japam, etc. So the Brahmanas should always be cheerful and in prompt readiness to do tapasya. Of all sorts of tapasyas, mortifying the body by observing vows and fastings is the best. So say the rishis, the mortification of the body gives self-reliance and self-intuition more surely and speedily than all the other studies and other practices. The Brahmanas should purify themselves by following duly Krichara, Chandrayana, Vratas, etc. O Narada, I am speaking of the purification of food. Here, the following 4 occupations of the Brahmanas are the best. ayachita, without begging or asking for anything. Uncha, the gathering in of handfuls of the corn left by the reapers. Sukla, the maintenance derived by a brahmana from other brahmanas, a pure mode of life. And bhiksu, begging, whether according to the tantras or according to the Vedas, the food obtained by the above four means is pure. What is earned by bhiksha, begging, is divided into four parts. One part is given to the brahmanas, the second part is given to the cows, the third part is given to the guest, the fourth part is to be taken by him and his wife. Whatever is fixed for swallowing, mouthfuls of food that is to be taken on a tray or platter. First throw a little cow urine over that and count duly the number of mouthfuls. The mouthfuls are to be of the size of an egg. The householders are to take 8 such mouthfuls, and the vanaprasthis are to take 4 such mouthfuls. The brahmacharins can sprinkle their food with cow urine 9 times, 6 times, or 3 times as they like. While sprinkling, the fingers are to remain intact. The Gayatri is to be repeated also. The food offered by a thief, Chandala, Kshatriya, or Vaishya is very inferior. The food of a Sudra or the companion with a Sudra or taking food in the same line with a Sudra leads one to suffer in the terrible hells as long as there are the sun and moon. The Purus Charanam of Gayatri is repeating this 24 lakh times, i.e. as many lakh times as there are syllables in the Gayatri. But according to Vishwamitra, repeating 32 lakh times is the Purus Charanam of Gayatri. As the body becomes useless when the soul leaves the body, so the mantra without Purus Charanam is useless. The Purus Charanam is prohibited in the months of Jyestha, Asada, Pausa and Mala, dirty months. Also on Tuesday, Saturday, in the Vyatipata and Vedriti yogas. Also in Ashtami, 8th, Navami, 9th, Sasti, 6th, Chaturthi, 4th, Trayodashi, 13th, Chaturdasi, 14th, and Amavasya, new moon. Tithis, lunar days, in the evening, twilight, and in the night. While the star Bharani, Kritika, Ardra, Aslisa, Jyestha, Dhanasta, Shravana, or the Janma Nakshatra, birth time star, is with the moon, while the signs Mesa, Karkata, Tula, Kumbha, and Makara are the Lagnas, signs in the ascendant, when the moon and the start are auspicious, especially in the bright fortnight. The Purusharanam performed gives the mantra siddhi. First of all, repeat Svasti Vacham and perform duly the Nandi Mukha Shraddha and give food and clothing to the Brahmanas. Take the permission of the Brahmanas and begin the Purusharanam where the Shiva Lingam exists, facing west or in any Shiva temple. Commence repeating the mantra. The other Shiva Kshetrams are Kashi, Kedara, Mahakala, Sri Kshetra, and Trayambakam. These 5 are the great Kshetrams, known widely on this earth for the fruitification and the siddhis of the mantras. At all other places than these, the Kama Chakra is to be drawn according to the principles of the Tantra, and then they will be fit for Puruscharanam. The number of times that the Puruscharanam, the repeating of the mantra, is done on the first day, the same number is to be continued every day until completion. Not greater, no less than that, and also no intermission or stoppage should occur in the interval. The repeating of the mantra is to be commenced in the morning and should be done up to midday. While doing this, the mind is to be kept free from other subjects and it is to be kept pure. One is to meditate on one's own deity and on meaning of the mantra, and one should be particularly careful that no inaccuracies, no omissions should occur in the Gayatri, chandas, and in the repetition of the mantra. 1/10 of the total number of Puruscharanams that are repeated is to be used for the Homa purpose. The charu is to be prepared with ghee till the bay leaves, flowers, jaya grain, honey and sugar, all mixed, are to be offered as oblations to the fire in the Homa. Then the success in the mantra comes, i.e. mantra siddhi is obtained or the mantra becomes manifested. After the Puruscharanam, one should do properly the daily and occasional duties and worship the Gayatri that brings in dharma, wealth, objects of desires, and liberation. There is nothing superior an object of worship to this Gayatri, whether in this world or in the next. The devotee engaged in the Puruscharanam should eat moderately, observe silence, bathe thrice in the 3 Sandhya times, should be engaged in worshipping one's deity, should not be unmindful, and should not do any other work. He is to remain while in water, to repeat the Gayatri 3 lakhs of times. In case the devotee repeats the mantra for achieving success in any other desired work, kamya karma, then he should willingly stick to it until the desired success is attained. Now is being told how to get success in ordinary kamya karmas. While the sun is rising, repeat the Puruscharanam mantra daily 1,000 times. Then one's life will be lengthened. No disease will occur, and wealth and prosperity will be obtained. If it be done this way, success is surely attained within 3 months, 6 months, or at the end of one's year. If the Homa, offering oblations to the fire, be offered 1 lakh times, with lotuses besmeared with ghee, clarified butter, moksha, liberation, is attained. If before the mantra siddhi or the success in releasing the mantra is attained, one performs japam or homam for kamya siddhi to get certain desires or moksha, then all his actions become useless. If anybody performs 25 lakh homas by curd and milk, begets success, siddhi, in this very birth. So all the Maharishis say, by this the same result is attained that is got by the aforesaid means, i.e. by the 8-limbed yoga, whereby the yogis become perfect. He will attain siddhi if he be devoted to his guru and keep himself under restraint for 6 months only, i.e. practice samyama. As regards taking food, etc., whether he be incapable or his mind be attached to other sensual objects, one should drink panchagavya, cow urine, cow dung, milk, curd, ghee. One day fast, one day take brahmana's food, one day, and be mindful in repeating the Gayatri. First bathe in the Ganges or in another sacred place or in another sacred places, and while in water repeat 100 Gayatris. If one drinks water on which 100 Gayatris are repeated, one is freed from all one's sins. He gets the fruit of performing the Krichara Vrata, the Chandrayana Vrata, and others. Be he a Kshatriya king or a Brahmana, if he is to remain in his own house, in his own household, ashrama, and be engaged in performing tapasya, then he will be certainly freed of all his sins. Be he a householder or brahmachari or vanaprasthi, he should perform sacrifices, etc., according to his adhikara or his rights, and he will get fruits according to his desires. The Sagnik man who keeps the holy fire and other persons of good conduct and of learning and of good education should perform actions and as prescribed in the Vedas and Smritis with a desire to attain moksha. Thus one should eat fruits and vegetables and water or take 8 mouthfuls of bhiksana, the food got by begging. If the Purushcharanam be performed this way, then the mantra siddhi is obtained. O Narada, if the Purushcharanam be done with the mantra thus, his poverty is removed entirely. What more shall I say than this, that if anybody hears this simply, his merits get increased and he attains great success. Here ends the 21st chapter of the 11th book on Gayatri Purushcharanam in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Hari Om Tat Sat.